Alright, guys, welcome back to Phenomenal Fantasy Wrestling, and we have completed another week here. It's been great. A lot of points given out this past week. We decided to add the indie spot to our rosters. A lot of people still need to get those spots in. Several of you decided to go with New Japan Pro Wrestling guys. That's perfectly fine. I picked up Wheeler Yuta, the Independent Wrestling Champion. He's also been on AEW quite a bit, coming out with Best Friends. So there's points for appearances. I think he's had a couple matches, so that's great for me there. My wife, she picked up Effie. I think she's about to drop him, though. I think he has one event coming up, and I was telling her probably the best way to go is to make sure you get something that's going on weekly. You got SWE Fury, you've got Championship Wrestling from Memphis, you've got New South Action Clash. So you've got so much stuff weekly going on that, those monthly shows are great. There are definitely points there. But if you want to get as much points as you can, you got to go with somebody who's on there weekly. That's where New Japan guys are good. They have 3 or 4 events. Yeah, it seems like they're always running shows. All weekend, I think they have. Right now, they're doing their summer thing. After that, they'll probably do another thing. They're always running shows. So those are good guys to get. The thing to that spot is it cannot be somebody who's currently contracted to one of our main people. No WWE, no NXT, no AEW, no Impact. They can be featured on AEW, especially Dark. You've got a lot of those enhancement talents on Dark. They're just putting people over on Dark, but man, some of them are doing great things in the indies. Wheeler Yuta, prime example. He is the Independent Wrestling Champion, but yet, actually, he's getting some wins on AEW because he's, in there with the Best Friends, but, at first he was just an enhancement talent. Okay. Anyway, what I'm going to focus on today is, basically the people on our rosters who have no points. I'm going to look at, I'll go over our points and our standings with you guys, but I'm going to look at all our people who haven't gotten points. We're 3 weeks in, and if you haven't got points on these people, maybe there's something you need to do. Maybe you can move them onto the bench. Maybe you need to look at dropping them and picking up somebody else. Before I do that, we're going to go over the last week's trivia question. Nobody answered it. Nobody even attempted. So the question was, the triple cage that was made famous from the movie Ready to Rumble. It was used prior to that movie, prior to the matches they had on Nitro and whatever pay-per-view David Arquette defended the title at. It was used at the 1988 Great American Bash. All right, at that point, they called it the Tower of Doom match, and I loved how they did it here because, the way they did it in the future was they did it from bottom to top. You could start in the bottom of the cage, you go to the top. And this one, they started at the top of the cage, and they went down, and in the middle of the ring was Precious. If you know who Precious is, that was the valet of Jimmy Garvin. At this time, him and Kevin Sullivan were kind of having a feud over Precious. So you had the Varsity Club there, you had that. So they had teams of 5. Jimmy Garvin had his team, Kevin Sullivan had his team, and, they wrestled to the bottom to get to Precious. It was amazing. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad they brought it back for Ready to Rumble, but not a lot of people knew that they had used it in the past. So that's just fun little trivia fact for you guys. But obviously, I get the 10 points since nobody got that. All right, so now let's move on, and I will point you to the computer screen so we can look at this week's points. All right, I'm hoping you guys can see it. Trying to look through the lens here myself just to see it. But you haven't had much of a change as far as the order goes. You've got Darren, Annie. I moved up to 3rd place, which is pretty awesome. Now, I've been making some big moves on the on my roster. So hopefully it makes big changes. John, you're down in last place, but you made some big changes this week. So hopefully it moves you up. Brian Ryan leaving really opened us up some good roster members. Yeah, I know you took Bianca Belair. You took Darby Allin. Somebody else took Tony Storm. Not Tony Storm. Chris Statlander. Everybody beat me to everybody. I wanted Bianca Belair. I got beat to her. I put up the friggin' trade thread and I still got beat. It's just funny how quick some of you guys are on that. I did make some moves. I made some good moves. I made moves I didn't think I was going to make because, they're just people who haven't been doing much right now. But you've got Christopher Bradley moved up to 4th. Stephen Howard, Brian Ryan, he left us, but he was up there. It's amazing he left. You got Cassandra, Gideon, Moose, William, Rob, Ali, Scott, Alan, Raw, Josh, Ryan, Markeith, Joseph, Blinky, and John. But like I said, we're going to focus on the people who don't have any points right now. So we're going to start in the tag teams. LA Park and Hio de LA Park. Basically, with no MLW, there's no, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything on the indies. Possibly they're doing something down in Mexico. I haven't paid attention. I have looked at, some of the results just to see if anybody's down there. Maybe they'll do something at, what is that show called? The Triple Mania that's coming up. Maybe they'll do something there for you. The Briscoes. I'm actually shocked they have no points. They had that tag match right before we started, the week before we started the season, and they haven't done anything on TV yet. Coming up, we will have some places for them to be able to get some points, though. The Glory by Honor is coming up, so hopefully you'll get some points out of that. Darren, Becky Lynch, you can move her to the bench and pick you up somebody temporarily till she comes back, but, I really hope she comes back at SummerSlam, but right now there's no timetable. It's just one of those wait and see things. So, you have the option to move her to the bench or just wait and see. No. See, somebody else, Randy Orton. I don't know what's going on with Randy Orton. So, you can move him to the bench and see, again, pick you up somebody temporary till he shows back up because... he just kind of disappeared and hasn't come back. You got Leon Ruff here. I don't know why I don't have points on him. He did 205 Live this week, but like it matters, he got fired. So Cassandra, you may want to... I'd drop him. You can move him to the bench and hope he shows up somewhere else, but, how much is he going to do somewhere else? He wasn't that big of a player. You got Jake Atlas. He has done nothing. I haven't even seen him on 205 Live unless I missed it. But he may have even... I may have missed... I didn't see all the names of the people who got fired yesterday. Maybe he was one of them. But, no points there. Amir Jordan. That's another one. NXT UK. I haven't seen him in about a month or so. So it really isn't doing you any good to have him sitting there. Walter, we all know what Walter's about to do. He had the hand injury, but he's got the big match coming up, so he's worth keeping. Mercedes Martinez, that's another one who just got released. If I were me, I would put her on the bench and see if she shows up somewhere, because wherever she shows up, she's going to make an impact. Ember Moon, she hasn't done anything since Shotzi left, but she does have a match coming up with... Saray on this week's NXT. So maybe you'll get at least some, you'll get appearance points, but I don't think you'll get any win points. Saray's pretty undefeated right now, and I don't see her giving up her spot. Flip Gordon, I dropped him. It's just that simple. I know he's got Glory by Honor. He might even become the new Ring of Honor champion, but I dropped him. Picked up Calvin Tankman because, like I said, MLW not really running shows right now, but Calvin Tankman is all over the indies, so I jumped on that. Roosh. He hasn't done anything since losing the title, but he does have some matches coming up at Glory by Honor. Same with Josh Woods. He hasn't done anything since the last pay-per-view, but he has a match coming up. Kenny King, I don't know what's going on with Kenny King. He didn't even wrestle at the last pay-per-view. Maybe he's injured. I know he's more of just a mouthpiece for that stable. So, yeah, I would probably see what I could do about getting rid of him, but, he is a great talent. LA Park Jr., same issue you got with the other LA Parks. Just isn't doing anything, and once MLW comes back, maybe you'll get something. They did say they were going to have a show this month, just a little YouTube show, so maybe you'll get some stuff there. EC3, he doesn't do a whole lot. He does some indies here and there. He shows up on Ring of Honor here and there, but he will be at the pay-per-view coming up, so maybe you'll get some points there. Or, Jacob Fatu, he has a match coming up for SWE, so maybe you'll get points off of that. But other than that, I'm not sure of anything he's doing. Indie spots, these are the people we've picked up on the indies so far. Let's see. One in here, Mia Yim. She kind of disappeared once Retribution ended and hasn't shown back up yet. I would move her to the bench and pick me up somebody temporary. Riho. I have no idea where Riho went. That's just somebody sitting there not giving you any points right now. Aaliyah. They made the trade for Aaliyah and Mandy Rose, and then Aaliyah disappeared. She didn't even come off doing anything. Weird how that worked out, but since she got moved, I would move her to the bench. I would pick me up somebody until she shows back up and then make that move, pick her back up. Then you've got Maxie Impaler. I dropped her this week. Kaylee Ray, I know she got dropped this week. So definitely some moves were made. Like I said, I want to keep these videos. I want to get you some detail in here, but I also want to keep them pretty decent time. Yeah, I don't want them to be too long. I want you guys to be able to watch them, sit here. I don't want to kill you guys with me just talking. I do want to start, I'm hoping I can start next week. I'm going to be doing a daily show. Not show, but a daily just hit a topic, daily topic type thing. Daily devotional, whatever you want to call it. Dissing with Big D, I don't know. Dishing with, I haven't thought about it yet, but I want these things to pick up. I want to really get you guys involved. So, but that's the way things are looking right now on the rosters. A lot of moves can be made. A lot of people not getting any points. A lot of moves have been made to try to move up. A lot of people just kind of stalemate. That's your choice. I'm doing everything I can to help you guys out. As far as the indies, there are some big names out there. Like I was saying, I pick up somebody who works weekly. Monthly's great too, but more points, more weeks. Where I'm really surprised is nobody's grabbed a Warhorse. Warhorse is hugely popular on the indies. But since he lost that title, he's kind of fallen into the background. I guess that's probably why. I see him here and there still. But anyway, alright. Alright, guys, sorry about that. I had to deal with the sun for a minute. Anyway, let's move on to this week's trivia question. I'm going to make it an easy one for you guys this month. Or this week. Jeff Hardy. How old was he when he wrestled his first WWF match? Seems pretty easy to me. If you guys are Hardy's fans, I know at least one of you is a Jeff Hardy fan. I was always a huge Jeff Hardy fan. So it's pretty awesome. And I love the story of how he, did this and, got away with it and then later became a star. But anyway, this week's been great, guys. I did get behind a little bit this week. Caught up now, obviously. Watching a bunch of indie shows right now. It's going to be an indie weekend for me. Starting with the Scenic City Invitational, done down here at Red Bank, Tennessee, in the TWE Arena. Wish I had gone to this, man. A lot of great talent there this weekend. They're also having the Future Showcase. Alex Kane, recently drafted in the open draft at MLW. He's going to be down there. They had one show. They had a show Thursday night. They had a show Friday night, the first round of the Invitational, and then they finished it up tonight. So they had the showcases in the afternoon, then they had the second half of the Invitational in the evening time. So, good stuff there. Beyond had Dong work for Yuta. Again, Wheeler Yuta is the independent wrestling champion. He will be defending the 100th title defense of that title. Not him defending it, but of that title. Will be on Sunday for H2O Wrestling, I believe it is. I'm not sure. But it's labeled as the 100th IWTV title defense. Some great talent going to be on that card. There are some other cards I've got to catch up on from IWTV. There was the Independent Wrestling Expo. I know that's on Title Match Wrestling. I've got to watch that. There are a few shows on WatchProWrestling.com. VXS, IWC, and NEW did a show together. There's the recent Game Changer Wrestling show, and there is one other one that I know Eddie Kingston is on the poster for. So I've got my work cut out for me this weekend, guys. So that's it for me. We'll see you. I'll put out something. I'm going to try to do something every day, but if not, I'll see you on Wednesday for something. All right, guys, you have a great week. Bye.